G'day Australia. Continuing my deposition allegations, organised crime and corruption, misbehaviour and incapacity, narcissism, psychopathy in Australian government, Queensland and Australian government. Recently in the media they had the thing about the robo debt. Obviously, family court was designed by the Labor Party. It was designed as a secret court, and it's designed obviously to destroy people's lives and bankrupt working class people, children, families. Even though we pay personal tax, I pay personal tax like 40%, and we have a government committing crimes against us deliberately, intentionally. We've got no representation in government, so we've got taxation without representation. Organised crime is just rampant throughout the judiciary. Recently, Mum's matter, Queensland Supreme Court, again proven fraud and perjury, fraud, perjury, and theft of documents, and it was just completely corrupt. It's been going on for the last 3.5 years. I was in family court for 8 years. I was in court with LNP for 2 years, proved perjury there as well. So we have no access to rule of law in Australia, and we're paying personal tax. Paying personal tax since World War One, to pay for World War One. It's pretty much taxation is your largest expense through your whole life. More than your family, more than your house, more than your kids, and it shouldn't be. So taxation by the government's just literally strangled Australian manufacturing to death, and you can't buy a house in Australia because taxation on taxation, personal tax, pretty much. Instead of saving for your house and your kids and your family, you're paying personal tax, like 40% of your income. So I found that Labor Parties are in a communist state. They have no intention of representing anyone but organised crime. I found that there's no separation between the government and organised crime. The Labor Party and organised crime, even the Liberal Party, just ignore the crime and corruption. So we started our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Party, and a number of years ago, and we found that the AEC, which is a Executive Commission under the Governor General, was fraudulently refusing to register new minor parties. They had a website called Guide to Registering a Political Party, and it was completely fraudulent. They were only allowing us to file 550 of our members. We had over 1,000. And then they were making us wait 3 months and claiming 100 of our members were invalid and refusing to register a political party, saying that we didn't have enough members, even though they wouldn't even tell us why, which members were invalid. We couldn't replace them with other members for our list. So it was completely fraud by the executive government. So we find there's no separation between powers, and there's just what the North Americans call a deep state, or it's actually a narcissistic and psychopathic state. Narcissists and psychopaths, about 70 million worldwide, 1% of the population, 250,000 in Australia. Most call themselves the government. So they don't develop conscience at around the age of 2 like most people do. And so they're really shallow. So it's not a deep state, it's more like a shallow state where all their policies are very shallow and they don't have the depth of mind to really be in public office, public service. And pretty much what our policy is to stop personal tax in Australia, so people can actually afford to save by their own homes and raise their kids. Obviously, I think it's the Labor Party that got brought in no tariffs for imports from China and these big multinational companies. Instead of paying personal tax from the public and the working class, we would be taxing imports, particularly from China, as they put tariffs on us. And China's very aggressive, and they're building up for a war, and that's completely psychopathic behaviour from China with their weaponised everything. But our government's weaponised against the public and the working class people as well. So we're just subjected to crime and corruption, and paying tax as well, personal tax particularly. So what else can I tell you? So pretty much trying to educate the public about crime and corruption, narcissism, psychopathy, misbehaviour and incapacity. Our courts and government's completely weaponised. I'll give you an example. My mum's case recently, I've been in court again as the Queensland Supreme Court for 3.5 years, proving the perjury, stolen documents, fraud, the Chief Justice was Catherine Holmes, I'm pretty sure, in Queensland Supreme Court. She resigned under allegations of crimes and corruption, and then went to the executive government under the new Federal Crimes and Corruption Commission, co-figure. And of course, first thing they do is attack the opposition Liberal Party over robo debt. We found the court's killing 2 to 3 people a day. It's just, and we've been asking for a Royal Commission of the Family Court for a decade. And it's up on the Facebook. It's been there forever. So, yeah, obviously, same happened to Julie Gillard, Prime Minister of Australia. She got become Chief Executive of Beyond Blue. And it was pretty obviously to me the Labor Party are putting these people in these positions to cover up the crime and corruption, the death toll, and make sure the public and the mainstream media don't cover it. So, yeah, I think we need to be educating kids, especially what narcissism psychopathy is. It's the greatest threat to humanity worldwide. Ukraine, same thing, being attacked by Vladimir Putin, Russian army, which is Vladimir Putin is a lawyer, same, and a politician, and obviously a narcissistic psychopath, same as Ted Bundy was. Ted Bundy is a lawyer, and I think he was part of the, he was a member of the Republican Party. So yeah, so 70 million narcissistic psychopaths worldwide, that's a serious problem. And really, you've got to start looking at what a narcissistic psychopath is and start recognizing for what it is and who they are. And we'll be a lot safer once we know. And of course, we're getting the AI coming through. I'm waiting for XAI, Truth GTP. And that's going to be a big help, actually identifying politics worldwide, and bureaucracy is going to be pretty much minimized because these AIs can do the bureaucracy as well as the judgment. The judiciary are multifunctional, so a lot of countries are going to start using AIs to run their bureaucracies, and it's much better. You can get answers from the AIs, GPT, whatever, in seconds. And obviously, I've been in court for years and years and years and get no response from the government or the members of Parliament. All right, so the Red Ensign. I just thought I'd give you a bit of rundown of the Red Ensign. In Gallipoli, the diggers used Red Ensign because it was a civilian flag. There's a Kitchener flag, and there's another one as well. I don't think it's got a name to it, with the Red Ensign on it and lots of signatures on it. But the Kitchener flag, Red Ensign, that's amazing. It's signed by a lot of politicians, prime ministers, and around the world from the diggers. Yeah. So just to sum up, that I found that we cannot trust the government, the judiciary, or the executive. They don't work for us, and we shouldn't be paying personal tax to them whatsoever. If you want to save Australia, join our party, help us abolish personal tax, and help us get rid of the corruption out of our public services. Thanks for listening, Australia.